Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at the original 1946 Franklin D. Roosevelt $1 coin from the United States of America. We're going to talk about how it replaced the Mercury dime, and we're going to talk about how it set the precedent for a later coin, the Kennedy $half. So first, let's just start with the Roosevelt 10-cent coin from 1946. Now, of course, Franklin D. Roosevelt was our president through the Depression in the United States, also through World War II until the very end. He died in 1945, before World War II had ended. He also was famous, if you can say that, because he had had polio. And so in 1945, the coins that we were using for the 10-cent coins were these coins right here, the Mercury dime. And if you can look at it, you see that it says Liberty around the top, In God We Trust here. There's a little AW. That's not a mint mark. That's actually a initials, Adolf Weitzman. And then it says 1945. This is the last year they made the Mercury dime, a 90% silver dime. And on the back it had the fasces, and it said United States of America, $1, e pluribus unum over here, and the fasces with the olive branches surrounding it. This is kind of a war implement, star here and a star here, dot here, and dot there. No mint mark on this one. It would be right here next to the fasces, and next to the olive branch. Well, in 1945, they said, what can we do to celebrate Roosevelt's life? He died at 64 in 1945, and they said, how about if we create a dime, a $1 10-cent coin from the United States of America? You can see this is a 90% silver dime also. That's what it was when it originally came out. It says United States of America here. You can see that's very similar to this United States of America here. $1 at the bottom, $1 at the bottom, but in the middle they put a torch. This is the torch here, with a olive branch on the left and a oak branch on the right with an acorn on it, on the oak branch, and two olives on the olive branch. Dot here, and just spaces here. And they did this kind of stylized United States of America, as you see it going around here in $1. The reason that they did the dime was that President Franklin Roosevelt, because he had polio, tried to raise money. And one of the things that he did was there was a local singer who said, let's donate a dime for polio. And that became what was called the March of Dimes, and Roosevelt was a big supporter of it. So they donated a lot of these Mercury dimes, and they used them to try to find a cure for polio. And so they said, well, why don't we use the dime for Roosevelt, because the dime is really indicative of something he did good for America. And they also said, let's put it out on his birthday. So they designed it and got it in really quickly. And when he died in 1945, they actually were able to get this coin out in 1946. And I said that kind of set the precedent for a later coin, and that, of course, is the Kennedy half. John F. Kennedy died in 1963, and they said, well, let's get a coin for him. And they tried to decide what kind of coin they should use, and they decided on the $half. And you can see the $half says Liberty at the top, in God in front of Kennedy, we trust behind him. And then also we see that there is a GR here, and I want to talk about this GR, and I want to talk about who designed the dime. So this is in 1964. It came out the year after President Kennedy died, in the same way that the dime, the Roosevelt dime, came out a year after President Roosevelt died. Now, the engraver of the dime, and the man who designed the coin, was a man named John Sinek, J.S. And of course, there's some rumors at the time in 1946 it had something to do with communism, because that just happened to be the initials of Joseph Stalin. So the U.S. House of Representatives had to put out some information saying this is not for Joseph Stalin, it's for John Cynic, who designed and engraved this coin. And it turns out that John Cynic's, one of the workmen in his shop and one of the people who did a lot of the engraving for him, was a guy named Gilroy Roberts. And there you see the GR. And some people say Gilroy Roberts helped to actually engrave some of the initial copies of this coin, the Roosevelt Dime. Now, the question is, everybody wants to know, is this worth a lot of money? I wish it was, but it's not. This is worth $5 to $7, even though it's silver and about $2 worth of silver. They made 255.3 million of these ones. And by these ones, what do I mean? Well, what I mean, these ones, it would be the Philadelphia, because this is where they put the mint mark on the back of these coins initially, right here. No mint mark meant Philadelphia. A D mint mark meant Denver. And a S mint mark meant San Francisco. 255 million, it's Philly. 61 million at Denver, and 27.9 million at San Francisco, a grand total of about 325 million. So these aren't rare at all. So if you're looking for to make a lot of money, it's funny that this Roosevelt dime is not one of the ways to do it, even though it's the original, because they made so many of them. But it's still a great dime to have. And if you're looking for Roosevelt dimes, we're going to go through a bunch of them over the next couple weeks and get some of the old ones and some of the new ones, and hopefully show you some that are very, very, very valuable. All right, that's all we have today from DC Cornwall International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.